You wake up in the morning and the house is still quiet. You swing your legs over the side of the bed, feeling around the floor for your slippers. When your bare feet hit the ground, maybe the hardwood feels a little less distinct than it used to. Maybe you feel a strange sensation like your sock is bunched up under your heel, even though you are completely barefoot. You stand up, shake your leg out, and figure you just slept on it wrong or the circulation was briefly cut off. You walk into the bathroom, turn on the light, and start your routine. You do not look down. You do not inspect the skin, or the nails, or the way the color shifts when you put your full weight on your heels. You just expect them to carry you to the kitchen, exactly like they have done for 60 or 70 years. We treat our feet like the tires on a car. We figure that as long as they are holding air and getting us down the road, there is absolutely no reason to look closely at the tread. I know exactly how easy it is to ignore what is happening all the way down there at the end of your legs. My name is Harold Bennett. I am 81 years old. I live out here in Scottsdale, Arizona, where the mornings are bright and the heat bakes the pavement by noon. But I grew up a long way from this desert. I was born and raised back in Columbus, Ohio. My father was a man who worked with his hands. He spent 4 decades in a manufacturing plant, standing on hard concrete floors for 10 hours a shift. He viewed his body as a piece of heavy industrial machinery, and his feet were just the foundation blocks that held the machine up. He died ignoring warning signs that could have easily bought him another 10 years of life, simply because he believed that paying attention to small discomforts was a luxury he could not afford. I spent most of my adult life working in community health education, trying to undo that exact kind of stubborn thinking. I spent my years sitting in union halls and community centers, taking the complicated medical jargon that doctors used and translating it into plain, honest English. I tried to help folks understand that the body does not usually shout when it is in trouble. It whispers. And the place where it whispers the loudest and where we ignore it the most consistently is in our feet. After the age of 60, many of us start to notice our eyes and brains slowing down. It might be blurry vision that takes 10 minutes to clear in the morning, or walking into a kitchen and forgetting why we are there. We often write this off as just aging, but it doesn't have to be that way. I've learned that over 92% of adults over 65 are missing at least one key nutrient needed for eye and brain repair while they sleep. Every night our bodies might be starved of what they need to rebuild memory cells and refresh tired eyes. I've seen how simple, natural choices, not expensive pills or supplements, can recharge your vision and memory. My own son Daniel, who is a physiotherapist, often reminds me that the body doesn't ask twice. He tells me that independence is protected in the small habits. Today, I want to talk about how a few natural blended drinks, taken at the right time, can help your body rebuild while you rest. Let's start with the first one, which is probably the most familiar: carrot juice. Many seniors overlook this, but it shouldn't be ignored. Carrot juice directly nourishes your retina and your prefrontal cortex, which is the center for memory and focus. It's rich in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. This vitamin is essential for photoreceptor cells that allow you to see in low light. Without enough, you might experience night blindness or dry eyes. Carrot juice also contains lutein and zeaxanthin, which protect the macula, the part of the eye responsible for sharp central vision. Beyond the eyes, it has a compound called falcarinol that protects brain tissue and reduces inflammation. Studies have shown that drinking just 250 milliliters of carrot juice daily can improve visual recall in seniors by 13%. That's the difference between forgetting a neighbor's name and remembering exactly where you left your keys. The secret is that carrot juice is fat-soluble. To get the most out of it, you should pair it with a healthy fat, like a teaspoon of olive oil or some walnuts. I usually make it fresh in the morning using 2 or 3 medium carrots and drink it with my breakfast. When your body gets the right fuel, your mind starts to sharpen. Coming up next is a deep red juice that is incredibly powerful if you struggle with brain fog or poor circulation. Most people my age don't think about blood flow when it comes to memory or blurry vision, but we should. Without steady circulation, your brain and eyes are starved of oxygen. This is where beet juice comes in. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates that convert into nitric oxide in the body. This molecule tells your blood vessels to relax and widen, a process called vasodilation. As those vessels expand, more oxygen-rich blood reaches your brain and retina, allowing them to repair themselves at night. Research has shown that seniors who drink beet juice daily have improved blood flow in the frontal lobe, which handles attention and short-term memory. It can even lead to faster reaction times and better focus. For the eyes, nitric oxide supports the vascular network of the retina, helping to prevent age-related damage. What I appreciate most about beet juice is how fast it works. Nitric oxide production begins within 30 minutes of drinking it. If you feel mentally sluggish by the afternoon, this might be the boost you need. I recommend juicing one medium raw beet with a small apple to balance the flavor and drinking it between 2 and 4 p.m. Just one glass a day gives your brain the oxygen it desperately needs. Now, we move to a different kind of power, one that works on a cellular level to rebuild your neurons and retinal cells. I'm talking about blueberry juice. While some foods protect, blueberry juice actually helps rebuild. Blueberries are a rich source of anthocyanins, which are powerful antioxidants that stimulate neurogenesis, the creation of new brain cells. Studies have shown that seniors who drink wild blueberry juice daily for 12 weeks see significant improvements in memory recall and brain activation on MRI scans. These antioxidants can cross the blood-brain barrier and help brain cells survive and grow. For the eyes, they protect the cells that transmit visual signals from the eye to the brain. This juice doesn't just slow decline, it supports regeneration. I once knew a woman named Helen, 74 years old, who found that the words on her crossword puzzles were starting to blur. She felt her brain was getting slower. After adding blueberry juice to her evening routine, she was back to her puzzles within weeks, sharp and focused. I recommend blending 1 cup of wild blueberries with a little water and drinking it about 90 minutes before bed. That is when your brain begins its nightly repair cycle, and these nutrients can go straight to work. The last juice is green and humble, but it might be the ultimate elixir for an aging mind: spinach juice. Spinach is one of the most underrated foods for your eyes and brain. It contains lutein and zeaxanthin, which are stored directly in the macula. As we age, these protective pigments decline, making the macula vulnerable to UV damage and inflammation. Spinach juice supports functional repair, improving visual processing speed so you can see clearer and process what you see faster. Spinach is also loaded with folate, a B vitamin essential for neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. Folate helps regulate homocysteine, a compound that can be toxic to brain cells in high amounts. Restoring folate through your diet can measurably improve memory and attention. Furthermore, spinach provides vitamin K, which protects brain cell membranes and helps signals travel faster between neurons. There is one small catch. Spinach contains oxalates, which might not be ideal in large amounts for people with kidney issues. Moderation is key. I suggest juicing a large handful of raw spinach with a green apple or cucumber to mellow the flavor. Drink it mid-morning or before lunch so your body can fully absorb the nutrients. Now that we've walked through these 4 juices, let's talk about how to put them into a simple routine. The key is to work with your body's natural rhythm. Your eyes and brain do the most repair work while you sleep, but they have peaks of activity during the day. You could start your day with carrot juice in the morning to reset your retina's focus for the day. In the early afternoon, between 2 and 4 p.m., reach for the beet juice to restore mental sharpness when energy usually drops. Then, about 90 minutes before bed, have your blueberry juice to activate repair pathways while you sleep. Spinach juice fits in well mid-morning or with lunch. You don't have to drink all 4 every day. You can rotate them, perhaps 2 juices a day, or focus on 1 for a week. What matters most is consistency. These juices are not magic pills, they are tools. Over time, they restore the small systems that time wears down: the fragile vessels in your retina and the communication lines between your brain cells. You may not feel it on day 1, but stay with it. Healing doesn't happen in a single night. It happens when you decide to support your body a little at a time. If you are wondering if it's too late, let me tell you, it isn't. I've spent over 30 years working with adults in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who thought they had lost too much to recover. They worried about too many missed names or blurred lines, but I have seen how small daily choices turn things around. A glass of juice isn't a miracle, but it is momentum. Your brain and vision haven't given up on you. They are just waiting for the right building blocks. It starts with what you pour into your glass. I moved to Scottsdale with my wife Margaret years ago. Since she passed in 2019, the house is quieter, but my mission is clearer. I want to share these truths so you can act before small problems become irreversible. My authority doesn't come from a medical degree, but from decades of observing real people and having real conversations with Daniel and Laura. I've seen enough to know what matters. After 60, the small things are the ones that matter most. The independence you want to keep is protected in these small habits. What you ignore today can limit you tomorrow, but you still have time. If you decided to try even one of these juices today, you've done something powerful. Your body is ready to heal if you give it the care it needs. Take care of yourselves, stay curious, and keep believing that your best years can still be ahead of you. I'll be here and we'll keep learning together.